Good morning. Now I need to apologise first to those people who are expecting how to make a ride video part 2, the edit. Well, I had a look outside this morning and it was just a glorious day, and I thought, no, I've got to go on an adventure and take you with me. And when you've got a bike, there's adventure everywhere. So I'm not entirely sure where we're going to go, but my plan is to get off the main road as quickly as possible, and that'll mean that we're off in the direction of Miravet with its fantastic medieval castle, and from there who knows, but it'll be uphill, lots and lots of uphill. So we're just going to come off the main N420 here, direction of Benisinet and Miravet, and it straight away takes us past the most appalling smell, because this place on the right here is a tanning factory. And I know the tanning process, the curing of leather for use as goods, they used to use urine. And it certainly smells like they're using something very similar to this day. In the background there to the right are the Cardo mountain range, which we've been up, but there's a bit of haze. Added to the haze is smoke. Now you think, yeah, fair enough, agricultural area, they must burn off all the prunings of all these trees, peach trees on my right here. And that's been very true until this last autumn, when instead of allowing all the farmers to have a burn up, they placed a countrywide ban on any bonfires of any description. And that's so that Spain could comply in advance with an EU directive which is supposed to cut down on pollution. And the difficulty was they didn't let anyone know in advance. So during the summer, all of the prunings that have been building up during the fire season, when you're not allowed to have any fires because it's so dangerous, the risk of forest fires is so enormous. Everyone had huge piles of prunings and then were told they couldn't burn them. Well, it's taken several months to get that law rescinded, but they have, and as of today you're allowed to have bonfires again. So a lot of this mist that you can see isn't mist, it's just hundreds of farmers burning up months and months of old prunings. Always got a soft spot for cloud pruned olives. We're just in Benisinet now. It specialises in peaches. Most of the towns do have a speciality that they are famous for, and they have an annual fiesta which would celebrate that particular fruit. Just there on the left, that fancy thing is actually the top part of an air raid shelter that was installed during the Spanish Civil War. I've never been down it, but it's quite fancy. I believe that's so it can collect air, scoops air somehow into it and down it for those sheltering below. Hello. Lovely. Painting pedestrian crossings by hand. A little roller. So the next town, Miravet, is famous for quite a few things. The fruit that it's famous for is the cherry, and it has a cherry festival. But it's also famous, more uniquely in these parts, for big potters, ceramics. They make it all here in traditional methods. People come from all over Europe to buy. The other thing it's famous for is there on the hill. I might not be able to see it. I might be able to zoom in. It's the 11th, 12th century Knights Templar castle. I say it's 11th, 12th century. It was the Iberians. The Iberians would have had that as a fortress probably around 600 BC. Would have kept it that way until the Romans arrived. The Romans would have taken it over, probably fortified it. They would have held it for a little while. And then the Visigoths, when they took over the Roman Empire, they would have taken over the fortress, and they held it until the Moors arrived. I think that was circa 700 AD, and they held it until 1143 when the Christians took it. We'll go and have a look in a sec. I always take it very easy on this corner. So a friend of mine came around it on his bike and came off and broke his shoulder. I imagine it was on that gully up the middle, and it's probably wet. Ah, it's a beagle. I love beagles. Hello. These are European fan palms, the only palm tree that is native to Europe, and they're getting quite popular because the traditional palm tree you think of in Spain is the canary palm, and the canary palm has been decimated across Spain by the palm weevil. It's a dirty great big grub that eats out the inside of the head of the tree and kills it. But the fan palm is resistant. They don't like the taste of it, these weevils, and so it's big business to grow fan palms, which are usually quite scrubby and small, to grow them into a tree standard. In fact, here's one. That's how they look like normally, but you can grow them into dirty great big tall trees to replace canary palms. It's really about whether you got the bottle not to break. So I'm going to try not breaking, getting in a bit of a tuck, see if we can do a PB. I think the segment's already started, so I should be sprinting. Oi, oi, oi. We're back alongside the mighty river Ebro again, just downstream of the very pretty village of Benifayet. I think it's very pretty. We lived there for about 8 years. Actually, I might come back the same way and I'll show you. This is the C12. It's the same road that goes past our house. It's usually alive with traffic, very unusual. I didn't know they'd re-tarmac this bit as well. This must have been a nightmare when they were doing it, because like I say, normally this is really busy. It's a really, really beautiful valley. You and I have done it before on the other side of the river. One of the earlier ones, Blue Sky Ride, I think it was called. It's more like it. Some big trucks. There's a vaguely interesting thing about Benifayet. To the north of Benifayet, the Ebro goes through a series of very tight bends. It's a big gorge, and it has the effect of stopping the cold northwesterly Mistral winds that affect the rest of rest of Spain really. It means that Benifayet has a much more temperate climate, much more similar to much further south, like Valencia, which means that Benifayet can grow oranges, and it's the most northerly point in Spain where oranges can be grown, which means that it's cheaper for the rest of Europe to come and truck oranges from Benifayet than from anywhere else. So Benifayet is a big orange town, and this bridge here that holds the Via Verde. We've done it twice, I think, this bit. It's the Val de Safran greenway. Really not very keen on this tunnel. There didn't used to be a hard shoulder for cyclists, and it's very popular with lorries, this road. But now there is a hard shoulder, and it's a good place to. All right. Anyway, that Via Verde, which is to the right of us, should be coming down to our level very soon. It's about 10 feet above us, just here. So we'll hop on it at the next bend. Right, it should be us. I'm hoping it's got lights in the tunnels further up the railway. There aren't any. I'm really hoping there are lights. Lights. There they are. I'll take my shades off. You probably won't be able to see a thing. Sorry, I've got my sunglasses in my mouth. There we are. Fantastic. So now we're on the other side of the main road, and right in the valley, the river right alongside us, no traffic, glorious. I've used that before today, but it is pretty good. Glorious views. And this could take us all the way down to Tortosa if we wanted, and from there you can go all the way into the delta, the Ebro Delta, and it's flamingos. We've done that as well. I was having a look at a map last night. I was proud at how much we've covered in these videos. If I want to do a completely original route that I've never seen before, I've got to go more than an hour's drive from my house now, which is, wow, it's fantastic. Look at this. I think they've all got automatic lights from here on. I really hope so. Ah, this one doesn't, but it's short. So the Val de Safran Railway was designed with a military purpose. The Spanish were a bit worried that the French would invade over the Pyrenees, and so they wanted to use the Pyrenees as a first form of defence and then the Ebro as a second. So they decided to design and build a railway that ran along the southern bank. It was supposed to have gone all the way to Zaragoza, but instead what happened is that it got shelved and work didn't even start until the 1890s, and then they only built one tiny little section right up in the middle of nowhere, where we began our gravel versus gain ride. Really is nothing there, and it actually took the Spanish Civil War for the bulk of it to actually be completed, and it was completed using slave labour of the losing Republican side soldiers. And I really do need to show you the weir here at Chirta, because the Moors built this weir all the way across the River Ebro, and it was so they could split two canals off it either side to irrigate everything that's downstream. It's an incredible bit of engineering, and it would have been done 600 AD. Now we've got a bit of a climb, so I've decided we're going to go to ARCA, which is oh hell, look at this. Oh no, I'm in the wrong gear. I'm in the big ring, for goodness sake. Can I change out of it? Yes. ARCA is a protectora for animals. The dog's home. I thought we'd come and have a look at some dogs. It's a bit early to be thinking of a replacement for my lovely Lily, but the boy who's left behind, Alfie, he spends a lot of his day whining and looking for his playmate. It's breaking my heart, to be honest. So we might not be ready. I think Alfie is. It's quite lumpy. It ain't enough steep. 13% at the moment. I would have found this easier if I hadn't had that final mince pie on Christmas Day. You can see that big lump directly in front of us. It's not in front of us now. It's Mount Caro, my nemesis. It's the one when I launched doing my diets in the autumn. It's the one that I wanted to reward myself with on my birthday, which is in March, by trying to climb it. It's quite steep. It's 22 kilometers long. It the average is 6.5, so it's up there with some of the really, really big climbs in the Alps or in the Pyrenees. There's a road right to the very, very top. Just under 1,500 meters of climbing, all in one go. Very calm, but it's a boy. But he's in with this boy, and he's got 3 legs, and I like him too. And there's another one back there, but it's a bit fearful. You don't want a fearful dog. Everyone else is barking, and these two aren't barking. Oh, look at him with his little leg. Hello, buddy. Oh, I should have bought sausages. Hello, dogs. Hello. So these are all Podencos of one sort or another. They use them for hunting rabbits mostly. It's a bite, I think, isn't it? Hello. Hello, little ones. Oh, it's the calm dog enclosure. Look at that beautiful hairy one at the back. Oh, wow. Little dog, little black dog. Hello. Oh my goodness. So the one, so this guy at the front is Casimir, and he's probably been reserved. And you, gorgeous, are very fearful. What I liked about these two, they didn't bark when I came over. And this guy's name is?
Lucas.
Lucas.
Look.
And this one's been reserved as well?
He is adopted.
Fantastic.
Already. Yeah.
So that means Lucas might be on his own in the run. We can't have that. Well, that was incredibly hard work. So there's 2 workaways who are living there, doing all of the cleaning out and the walking, etc. So it's a nice arrangement for them, and a great arrangement for the organisation as well. So now I need to try and edit down the footage and show it to Mrs. Yakko and see if there's a winner in there. There was one for me, but quite a lot of the ones that I liked had already been reserved, and some were being sent to Germany. And that's how the one I worked for used to work quite well as well. We used to send quite a few to Holland. I don't know why there aren't enough rescue dogs in Holland and in Germany, but it seems there aren't. And there was also a galgo there. I'm not sure if we're ready for another galgo. Anyway, they're so lovely. If you've got a bit of spare cash, they would appreciate it, I have no doubt. Oh. He was going at a fair lick. Right, anyway, I need to get home now before it gets dark. So probably less filming and more cycling. back just before sunset. So it's been a cracking ride. Now I've got to break the news that I've been looking at replacement dogs to Mrs. Yakko. So wish me luck, and until the next one, thanks for watching.